Lo hopes the small underground bunker will shelter her from the expected airstrikes. When the military moved in with bombs and artillery fire in March, hospitals, schools and public buildings were attacked. More than 100,000 people from Myanmar's Cayenne state fled their homes, many escaping to nearby forests. Now they're working to protect themselves against what they expect to be more bloodshed.
The soldiers are going over the line using bombs and guns to attack our home. I want to see Karen people live comfortably and safely, but right now, we have to leave our homes and hide from the war.
These people from Cayenne's internally displaced Camp Itu Hata tried to find a way along the banks of the Salween River to safety in Thailand. Neighbouring Kaya is one of several regions where armed groups are fighting back against February's coup, when elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi was deposed.
We believe that they're blockading this area. This is, again, something they do on a regular basis. They will deny humanitarian assistance to any area where they believe there is resistance to their rule. Food is not getting through, the potable water, medicine, other things that people need.
The UN envoy says mass deaths could occur from starvation, disease and exposure.
The junta is blocking roads that could provide aid organizations and those who are trying to get to them access to these people. And I've also heard a credible report just today, that landmines are being laid on the roads leading to the forests where these desperate people are.
With the wet season about to begin, malaria and dengue fever could also spread quickly.
Some of the women are pregnant and work close to labor, which makes it hard for them to travel. Some have newborn babies that need a lot of supplies.
Piu Tofua has been in a Tuhita camp for 15 years and knows what it's like to face hunger and the constant threats from the military.
Every day I had to follow the news on what the Burmese soldiers were doing and how they were going to come in, so we'd know all their moves.
For now, people have no choice but to barricade themselves into what are very flimsy shelters and hope there'll be enough to keep them safe from the next airstrike.
Shalom. Call all Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashim El Shai Brakatham to the hopefully elect. And just real quick, man, because just paying attention, man, to the situation that's going on out there in Myanmar, because there's a lot of violence, bloodshed going on out there with the military coup that they had back in February. All right. And ever since then, man, like I said, there's been a lot of bloodshed. All right. Because you just had the military, man. They just came in and took over. And ever since then, there's been protests, riots, uproars of the people, fighting against the military. You got the military opening fire on rioters and whatnot. Airstrikes, all type of stuff has been going on out there. In which these things, like I've been saying, man, slowly but surely, eventually, man, this will make its way to America. All right. And pretty much, man, because like I said, a lot of people out there, they're trying to flee across the border into Thailand and, just basically trying to get the hell out of Dodge. You got people seeking shelters, so they don't get hit with the airstrikes and stuff like that, man, but, yeah, man, a lot of people are trying to flee their homes, which is what I kind of want to touch on, because I got this here in 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 39. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. All right. And matter of fact, let me read verse 40. It says, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle. All right, because as it's been said for a long time, man, all hell is bound to break loose out here. All right. You know, yeah, around the world, but more so here in America. All right. This place is going to catch it the worst. You know, and again, you know, because the Lord gave us His grace time. You know, He's been gracious enough to give us this period to do exactly what it said here. Prepare for the battle. Get ready for the battle. You know, spiritually. It's not talking about buying up guns and ammo and trying to stand up against the so-called white man. That's not what it's talking about, because knowing that our fight is spiritual. Our battle is spiritual. All right. And even more so, you know, building up a firm foundation in His truth, man. Strengthening your relationship with Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, because it's going to be the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, depending on your relationship with the Lord, man. That's what's going to carry you in these hard times, these very difficult times, these perilous times that we're coming in. Because, you know, a lot of us are going to, you know, lose everything. A lot of us we're going to be kicked out of our homes. You know, a lot of us, we're going to lose our jobs, cars, family. We're a lot of us, man, we're going to lose everything. You know, a lot of us, man. Hey, man, you know, when them troops come in, man, um, a lot of us are going to flee into the wilderness. You know, just be on a run, man. And that's why I got here. When you read on, it says, and in those days, it says, in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Now, pilgrim, just being someone that's, you know, basically traveling, you know, from place to place, man, always on the move, you know, because, and this is why it's often said, dealing with why we ought to not have, or the scriptures say, basically storing up your riches in heaven, you know, not worrying about the things of this world, man, these materialistic things, man, because like I said, eventually, you know, we'll come to the point that we might have to leave everything behind, man, and just move. You know, we're just gonna have to be on the go, man. You know, and like when you get this in Genesis, and I brought this out in a previous video dealing with the covenant that our Lord made with our forefather Abraham. But when you read in Genesis, the 12th chapter, in verse 1, it says, and Yahweh had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. So you see, all right, like many of our forefathers before us, you know, Abraham being one of those examples, you know, the Lord told him to just get up and go, man, you know, told him just to get up and leave, you know, and you can imagine, you know, our forefather Abraham, because he was a man of great faith, you know, he didn't question the Lord. You know, just imagine he got up and just left. He got up and went out of faith. All right, because again, that's what we're going to need in these times that we're coming into, and that's why it read in 2 Ezra 16, getting you ready for the battle, man. Which again is a spiritual battle for us. All right, you're building a firm foundation and strengthening your faith, your relationship with Yahweh Shemel Shai, because it's going to be the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai to carry us in these days to come. All right. You know, because again, man, a lot of us, hey, man, we're gonna lose things, man. You know, and all we're gonna have is strictly our faith, man. We're gonna be moving strictly on faith, and the Spirit is gonna guide us. Let me get this in Psalm 32 I'll start at verse 6. It says, for this shall everyone that is godly pray unto thee in the time when thou mayest be found. And you see, that's what we're doing now. You know, getting ourselves ready for the battle, man. We're prepping ourselves, spiritually prepping. All right, spiritually getting ready, man. You know, you know, because again, this is the time that Yahweh Shemel Shai has been gracious to give us to, you know, to do these things and acquaint ourselves with Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, so on and so forth. This is the time to you know, do these things, prepare for these things, man. You know, get yourselves right. All right, while the Lord may be found. All right, because again, believe it or not, man, the Lord's not gonna this grace period is coming to an end, and you know, Yahweh Shemel Shai, he's not gonna just basically when all hell breaks loose, the Lord, he's not gonna be extending his grace. He's not gonna be extending his hand out to people like he is now. Because hey, when the Lord when the Lord closes that mercy, all right, when he closes that spiritual arc, all right, that's it. You know, if you didn't take the time out now to build yourself up and gird thy loins like a man, then you're done for. All right. But it's reading on, it says, surely in the floods of great waters they shall not come nigh unto him. All right. And what is this flood talking about? Because it's not talking about the flood that the Lord destroyed the earth with back in the book of Genesis. The Lord made a promise that he wouldn't destroy the earth again with water. All right. This flood that's talking about is when you read in Isaiah 59:19, when it says the enemy shall come in like a flood. All right. That enemy talking about, or that flood talking about the enemy. All right. Going into Esau Edom. When he comes in with his martial law troops, he comes rushing in with his martial law troops, so on and so forth. All right. You see, the men of the Lord, they're going to be protected. All right. Even those that, again, are going to be as pilgrims. They're going to be, because like I said, this is a time that, they're going to have bounties out for the men of the Lord. It's just going to be a real dangerous time. You're going to have people hunting the men of the Lord. It's going to be all type of stuff going on out here. But you see, somehow, some way, the Lord is going to preserve his elect by way of his spirit. When you read verse 7, it says, thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. So you see, all right, because again, the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, he's going to guide those. All right. Talking about the elect. All right, because only the elect are going to be preserved in this trouble. All right, this time known as Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 13:7. All right, because it's going to be a very bad time, man. And again, a lot of us, we're going to be in a move. Don't think, wherever your house is at, wherever you dwell at, don't think that you're just going to be sitting there in one place throughout Jacob's trouble. No, I mean, it's going to be bad. It's going to be hectic, man. Like what's going on out here in Myanmar, people are trying to flee, man. People are trying to get the hell out of Dodge because they're conducting missile strikes or air strikes on civilians, man. Small villages, they're basically cutting off certain parts of the, they're cutting off certain parts because they're suffering a humanitarian crisis as well. So people, like they mentioned in the video, man, women are, they're pregnant, there's no food, diseases, all these things, man, and again, because the Lord is saving the best for last. America is going to get hit with all these things. All right, that's why, again, I read in 2 Ezra 16, those plagues, man. The Lord's bringing some serious plagues to this place. All right, and it's going to be hell on all sides, man. It's going to be dangerous everywhere, from the north, south, east to the west, on all angles. It's going to be hell. It's going to be tribulation. All right, which again, hence the name, man. This is going to be a time that has never been since the earth was created. Daniel's 12:1. But nevertheless, man, just the fact that, hey, again, dealing with this pilgrimage, be prepared to lose everything, and be prepared to, be on the run. I'm gonna get this in Hebrews the 11th chapter, verse Hebrews 11 and which Hebrews 11 is basically like that's like a chapter dealing with the faith of our forefathers, man. This is like the Hall of Fame, so to say, because I had already used the example of Abraham. The Lord told him to get up and get out, basically, and Abraham, because he was a man of faith. All right, he did exactly that. He didn't question the Lord or anything, and that's how we got to be, man. We got to have that same faith, that same attitude wherever we go. Hey, the Lord's going to preserve us. The Spirit is going to guide us. Those will be of that number. But Hebrews 11:13, it says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off. All right, because they believed, like Moses, our forefather Moses, he didn't see the promised land, but, or like I said here, man, for the most part, all of our forefathers, man, majority of our forefathers, they died not seeing the promised land, but they still believed, man. They still died in faith, It says, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. So you see, You know, many of our forefathers, they were pilgrims. You know, they were always on a place. They were always on the move. You know, and that's how it's that's how it's going to be. All right. Um, Let me get this in Hebrews 13, because like the scriptures say, this is not our rest. So again, even though, you know, wherever you're dwelling at now, whether you have an apartment, whether you have a home, whatever the case may be, don't consider that your rest. That's because that's not your home, man. All right. You know, this isn't it. All this stuff is about to be brought to desolation. All right. And like I said before, storing up your riches in heaven, man. You know, we're our mind should be on focus on the kingdom. We're gonna have all that in the kingdom. You see, what everything that we have now is temporal. All right, this is a temporal, temperate kingdom. All right, and like the brother said yesterday, you know, because I had the privilege, the Wadi Bashim I had the privilege of congregating with the brothers out there in GMS Orlando. The brother said it beautifully, man. You know, people in this society, they make permanent decisions in a temperate kingdom. You know, because everything in this kingdom is temperate. It's temporal. All right. You know, eventually it's all going to be destroyed, man. All right. Even the bodies that we're in right now, these bodies are going to be destroyed. We're not even leaving with the skin on our backs, man. So how much more everything else? All right. But Hebrews 13 and 14, it says, for here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And you see, same thing a lot of our forefathers, man, you know, talking about the kingdom. All right, because that's the end all be all, man. Like I said, this is just a temperate kingdom. All right, you know, this is nothing but punishment. All right, for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And this is not what you see going on today, man. It's not going to be like this forever. All right, and this is the good news, the gospel. All right, to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. You know, repent now, because the kingdom is coming, man. The kingdom is it's almost here. You know, we just got to get through this last stretch known as Jacob's trouble. All right, and after that, man, we get the kingdom. We get that. We get this continuing city that we've been longing for. Because Jake, whether they know it or not, Jake, they long for the kingdom. You know, a lot of Jake, man, it's just in their spirit. You know, the dealing with, you know, talking about the kingdom. You know, what again, whether they know it or not, Jake, they want the kingdom, man. You know, but they try to establish it here on earth, and or excuse me, because the kingdom will be on the earth, but they try to establish our kingdom, all right, the real righteous kingdom, and they try to establish it here in this defiled kingdom, and it just doesn't mix, man. It doesn't work. All right. So again, you know, this isn't our, you know, rest, like the scriptures say, man. You know, I'm gonna read that again. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come, and that's the kingdom. All right, the actual kingdom. All right, that's what we're looking for, man. You know, so yeah, man. You know, and again, you know, we got to make sacrifices before we, you know, we got to prove ourselves. You know, and you know, I mentioned the you know, a lot of our forefathers, they were pilgrims and you know, things of that nature. But Yahushua himself, man, you think Yahushua was, you know, chilling here, you know, when he was when he walked as Yahushua, you know, you think he was just chilling, man, and you know, just had his feet kicked up? No, man. I'm gonna get this in Luke chapter 9. Luke chapter 9 and verse. I'll just start at verse 51. Luke 9:51, it says, "And it came to pass, when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem, and sent messengers before his face, and they went and entered into a village of the Samaritans to make ready for him. And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem. And when his disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elias did?" I'm gonna jump down to verse 57. Verse 57, Luke 9:57, it says, "And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whithersoever thou goest." All right, and it says, "And Yahushua said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. Because you see, the Lord again, you know, our Lord, man, Yahweh Shai, he was a pilgrim. You know, like I said, he wasn't just, you know, kicking back at, you know, at the you know, his dwelling place and just no, man. The Lord was constantly on the move. He was, you know, he was doing his work, man. All right, you know, he was on the move. You know, he was a pilgrim as well. You know, because basically the Lord basically was saying, look, I don't have a place to, you know, lay my head, you know, rest my head, you know, a dwelling place like that, you know, because hey, it be like that, man, you know. But reading on, it says, and he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahushua said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go through and preach the kingdom of the Most High. And said, and another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go to bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. So you see, all right, if you're not willing to drop everything, you know, for this truth, all right, for the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, you're not worthy of the kingdom, all right. And again, because that's how it's going to be for a lot of us, man. We're going to have to make those sacrifices, all right. This is what all the prepping, all the grooming, because, you know, all these afflictions that we suffer now, you know, because, hey, man, we make gains and we lose a lot of things, man, you know. But nevertheless, this is all the Lord prepping us and grooming us up for this time to come. Because, again, hey, you know, a lot of us, we're going to lose things, man. We're going to be on the run. We're going to have to, you know, flee everything. We're going to have to leave everything behind and not look back. All right. That's why I always say, man, is the least attachments you have to this place, the better it is for you, man. The better you're off. Because the more attachment, the harder it's going to be to for you to let these things go. You know, you don't want to be in that spirit of Lot's wife, looking back. All right. Because you're too attached, you know. Because, hey, again, you know, the time's going to come, we're going to have to leave all this shit, you know, and just go. You know, we're just going to have to get up and go. And whithersoever the Spirit leads us, all right, you know, we're going to have to move in faith, you know, because that's all we're going to have at the end of the day, you see, all right, you know, all we're going to have is strictly our faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, he's going to direct us in all our paths, man. You know, whithersoever we go, Lord's will be of that number. So hopefully this was edifying. Giving all credit to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Shem Shai, Brakathum to the hopeful elect. Until next time, Lord's will, I say Shalom.